Right, so we've just been out on a little bit of outreach. Haven't we, Abby?
We have, yeah.
Haven't we, Rob?
We certainly have.
So we've been out on a bit of outreach and we've found 5 people. Apparently SWEP's on tonight, so we was hoping that we won't find anybody. But we found 5 people in one doorway and we've obviously took them the sleeping bags, have a chat with them, made them a brew. Rob made them a nice brew, didn't you?
Certainly did.
And having a chat, and then what, Abby?
Well, it came down to ringing EDT. So EDT is the emergency out of hours, to get them located into wherever they're putting people, the secret location for the SWEP facility, which is a severe weather emergency protocol. So anyone who's rough sleeping in cold weather should be scooped up and housed, so obviously preventing harm or death. So basically I've rang up, and it now turns out that if you've got no local connections to Blackpool, you're left on the streets anyway.
Doesn't matter how cold it is.
Doesn't matter. So you get.
But wait a minute, hang on, whoa, rewind. So SWEP is supposed to be, it's been designed so people don't die on the streets, like what happened in 2007. 16 people died in one night.
Yeah.
And the government introduced SWEP so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And SWEP was supposed to be where the councils went out and scooped up the homeless, no matter who they was, and put them in undercover for the time that it was -degrees.
Yeah.
So what's happened to that law? Has Blackpool Council just changed that?
Well, I'm getting that looked at the moment
because I don't agree with this, and I totally not having it.
Well, you know, and it's also a case of, so they basically said that the person has to go back to their own area where they came from. So I said, well, what about if you're fleeing domestic violence from that area? So she said it's down to the council of where they're from to rehouse them. I said, have you ever tried?
No, hang on a minute. I thought somebody was running from an area for domestic violence. So why would you want to go back there?
Well, they said it's down to their council to put them somewhere else.
But if somebody's fleeing domestic violence and they're running away from a town, then what are you doing sending them back to that town?
Well, clearly
I don't understand.
There's no empathy or any.
No, that's just ridiculous.
It's outrageous.
And why are people on the streets when SWEP is activated? This is a government initiative, not a council initiative.
Well, so apparently there was met by, I think, the bid team this morning, this group of people who have just seen, and they were told to go to housing options. 2 of them went to housing options, and because they was not out from Blackpool or had any local connections, they were basically told that there was no help for them, and they were offered a travel warrant, which they obviously don't want to go back to where they came from. So they're back on the streets again in this weather. So
what we're doing about it? We're not having it. We're kicking off.
Well, it looks like
it's got to be illegal what they're doing. Well, SWEP is a government initiative, not a council initiative. They can't start changing it to suit themselves with a local connection bullshit. I don't even agree with that anyway, the local connection. They thought that was getting abandoned. What's happened there?
Well, apparently they weren't meant to be supposed to be using that, but it's never changed ever. So, I don't know.
Anyway, right, we've got to go.
Shitstorm coming.
Yeah, bye-bye.